hope everybody is doing well. This is my Marjorie Taylor Greene impersonation. Do you see what I have to put up with? I don't want to leave the party. I'm having too much fun. I'm protecting y'all from the Jewish lasers. We got a problem with the Jewish lasers. Y'all telling me I gotta leave the party. I don't want to leave the party. I like the party. Woo! Too many Jews. Too many Jewish lasers. What y'all think? How's my impersonation? You mention a party, and of course, it immediately attracts the Jews. Party? Who said party? Is it a Hanukkah party? I like parties. You need a laser for the party? As my Jew laser. Woohoo! I can have a little kiddush. L'chaim, everybody. It's a Jewish party. Yeah, 50%. 50% of the cabinet. President Biden is people of color, Jewish people, and other. It's because it's a party. Woohoo! L'chaim, l'chaim, everybody. We won. It's driving the Nazis crazy. Anyway, it's our party. So let's party. %. I can live with 50%. Hello, everybody. I thought I would start today. I was inspired by Danny of Bathroom Tarot, giving him a shout out. He does a great Bernie impression. So I figured, I'm going to follow Bathrobe Tarot, Danny, get people to have a little chuckle there. So I was thinking about that last night. I said, gosh, I don't drink, but I had some Chardonnay because I was going to make scallops. And then the idea of cooking scallops freaked me out because it's not kosher and I'm a vegetarian. I couldn't do it. So I just wound up with some Chardonnay. But here's the thing. If you are a vegetarian and you want to know what to do with your wine, you can make mushroom dishes that taste a lot like meat and like stroganoffs, vegetarian, vegan. So that's what I'm going to do with it. But everybody have a good laugh. I just want people to be happy. Let me give gratitude and a hello to everybody before we get started. Cashing 888, hello to you. Douglas, hi, good to see you here. Welcome back. Kelly N is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Wim B, hello. Karen B, hello. Judith, gosh, good morning to you as well. Thank you for the pretty design, by the way. Bad boy Rob, can't get started without him. Vicky's in the house. Hello, Vicky. Jill, Linda, Teresa Harper, and SS is always good to see SS in the house. AMC, hello, hello. Karen B, hello, hello. Okay, Salome is here. We're going to keep saying hi to everybody. Adventurous Spirit and Douglas are acting as moderators. Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. Be sure to check out Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. She does some great readings. I checked out her channel yesterday. And of course, we want to support her because she does good work and also because she's kind enough to moderate this channel. So how is everybody feeling? You feeling, did I give you a good smile to get you started with the day? Happy Sunday. This is my brunch. This is my brunch salon. We get together. We eat good food. We talk politics. Please don't take any of this seriously. It is strictly for entertainment purposes. All right. So a couple things before we get started. First off, if you haven't done so yet, be sure and share, like, subscribe, and push the bell notification. A lot of people got unsubscribed. So we have to go ahead and say that because people accidentally, you have to check your bell notifications. What happens is that I guess YouTube, they think if something's a spam, they get rid of it. So it's kind of annoying, but you got to check it. The other thing I want to do is I want to give gratitude to everybody who has made donations to the channel. Applause. The people that have donated to the PayPal account, all of those donations, I can promise you go to good places. Either we're buying groceries or donating to charity or paying my taxes or paying my rent, but it's never squandered. It's, I'm very mindful of it. And we also, of course, do things to upgrade the channel, like improve sound, computer, etc. So I'm very grateful for that. The other piece of gratitude, I got a really nice gift. And the Ninehus, thank you. I won't show the address, but thank you. I was sent these beautiful candles. These are just beautiful. They smell absolute. I'm going to send a thank you card, by the way. They just smell so beautiful, and I'm going to have them all over the house. And they are different archangels, to help with energy of the archangels. I actually was going to light the Archangel Michael, so I might do that. You know what? I really like this Nag Champa. Maybe I'll do the Nag Champa. Oh my God, that smells incredible. I'm going to do the Nag Champa. Thank you so much. I love it. And I will be sending a note. Wish you guys could smell it. Is the sound okay? I'm burning the Om. It's kind of a unity energy. It's Nag Champa. It's used for meditation. I figure it would be a nice energy to bring in because we are going to be doing remote viewings today and doing some channeled work. See that okay? The sound is great, Susan. Thank you. Susan, I don't know why you don't have, Susan, Lynn, I don't know why she doesn't have more. You're very good, Susan. And in fact, Susan, can you send me an email to Whimsy Anderson at gmail.com? I'd like to do a collab with Susan Lynn. So if you go ahead, send me an email. We'll go ahead and arrange something. Well, everyone, hello. Are you ready to talk about remote viewings? Is everybody ready to talk about remote viewings? Okay, so there's a couple things we're going to be talking about. I don't want to spend as much time on the remote viewings today as we did last week. I know it was a lot. We went on for an hour, but people have to understand I'm not just yapping. I know it sometimes feels that way, but if I'm talking about a remote viewing and I'm talking about cybersecurity or going into a headquarters, it's because somebody sent me down and I had a guide last week. So we got a lot of work done. So that's not yapping. That's me reporting back, debriefing, so to speak, what I found. And I try to, to the best of my ability, I try to have the notes be comprehensive. So today's remote viewing, we're focusing on Joe Manchin. And I really tried, the reason why I wanted to get into Joe Manchin's head is because a lot of people are frightened that the tent is so wide in the Democratic Party that we may not be able to get anything, legislation passed with this much diversity and arguing happening within the Democratic Party. So for those people who don't know, Joe Manchin is is a Democratic senator from West Virginia. And he has been struggling with some of the issues that the Democrats are trying to come up with. So it was interesting. When I did last night's remote viewing on Joe Manchin and I was sitting in his energy, My first thought as Joe Manchin is fear. This is somebody who has a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. It was also interesting to remote view Joe Manchin because he thinks that there's a lot of misinformation about who he is, who his people are, misrepresenting West Virginia. He was not polite. You go into an energy like that, and my first question was to Joe Manchin in the remote state, what do you want? What are some of the main issues that your constituents want? I thought that would be a good energetic thing to put out there when I was connecting with this energy. And it was kind of the energy, the bounce back energy. When you start to be a heart-centered remote viewer, you'll put energy out and then it'll bounce back and you'll see how it feels. When you ask about the number one or the main issues for the people of West Virginia, the energy you get back from Joe Manchin is they're not multiple issues. There's only one issue. There's only one issue that he was very aggressive. He said, there's not multiple issues. There's one issue, Whimsy. It's like, he's like a very aggressive energy. He said, there's only one issue, the issue of unemployment. Poverty and unemployment. West Virginia, poverty, unemployment. But what about this? What about that? What about poverty and unemployment? Unemployment. There's only one issue in West Virginia. It's unemployment. It's the wages. So I understand why we're getting this conflict now between Manchin and between other Democrats. From his perspective, it's wages, it's lost unemployment, my people can't feed themselves. What are you going to do for West Virginia? They need work, they need food. He said, if you're really serious about the Green Deal, don't just say you're going to do this, that, and the other for West Virginia. What are your real plans? What's your 3-year plan? What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10? Don't be arrogant. If you're going to do this stuff, you need to talk to the people of West Virginia and you need to work with the people. This attitude that he's expressing reminds me of the attitude that people were negotiating in Brazil with indigenous people in Brazil. They were making all these big plans about how they were going to make the life better for the indigenous people, but were so arrogant they didn't bother to actually sit down and talk with the people themselves. So this is what Joe Manchin is having an issue with. The other impression I got from being a remote viewer, sitting and abiding with Joe Manchin, this guy really does care about his constituents. And he's really angry and fed up with people who have never been in his shoes and been in his state and seen this type of abject poverty, judging him and judging his constituents. So he talked about 30-40% below the poverty line, just really high numbers in some areas. They're ready. It's not about not going green. They want to be part of the process and they want real plans and they want to be ensured that they get a piece of the pie, all of which is legitimate. I think he's absolutely legitimate about that. The other thing that he was angry about had to do with, he was opposed to the $1,400 to the $2,000 checks, not because he didn't want to give poor people the money. He wants to get poor people the money. What he's angry about is this random, just give everybody the money, which he feels is a misappropriation of funds. What we need to do, in his opinion, is direct the money to the people who genuinely need it so that there's more of it, because $2,000 doesn't cut it. So he feels angry that he has been completely misunderstood. If you're a mama with 6 babies and your husband just died from COVID and you're that's the person that needs the money. Dr. Whimsy doesn't need a $600 or $1,200 relief check. Let's concentrate the money to the needed areas, food stamps and resources. He's right. I actually agree with Joe Manchin on that. So he says he wants better control over how the money is directed, specifically into areas where it is desperately needed, rather than a blanket check, which is a misuse of funds and actually could hurt people, because some people they need more than 2,000. They need so much relief in these poor areas. Saying that West Virginia or Kentucky or some of the poor southern states, oh, you just want it for your state. That's not what we're saying from Joe Manchin's perspective. We're saying the poorest of the poor are the people who need this, and everybody else. Whether or not we're going to use the buddy system, if you're using the buddy system and people just of their own accord say, hey, man, I don't need it. I don't need an extra piece of cake. I don't need an extra piece of bread or whatever. Feed who you need to feed. And that may be what we have to do, that we have to actually use a buddy system or some kind of a system so that only those people who need relief can get the relief. And if we do it that way, there'll be more relief, because some people desperately need a lot of relief and some people don't need any relief. And that's cool too. All right. So consequently, as a result of that energy, and by the way, Joe Manchin was saying, we need to send more Democrats into these areas so that they are educated about the poverty crisis. There needs to be more interaction. I agree with Joe Manchin about that as well. He loves the Green New Deal, just wants more communication. All right, so that was the first remote. The second remote we're going into has to do with something really exciting. There's a new train systems that are opening up in the southwestern United States that's going to really be uniting the ecosystems of the southwestern United States. I've talked about this new Green Deal and how it's going to be affecting the southwestern United States before. But we're also going to see infrastructure in terms of travel that's fast and efficient in this area. It's going to unite Arizona, New Mexico, California, and Texas. So we're going to be seeing some amazing hyperloops and eco-friendly travel trains, etc., that's going to start emerging. The other thing I keep seeing over and over again for the southwestern United States is a complete change of the ecosystem. And I think that the reason we see this happening over the next 10 to 15 years is because Texas and California were heavy oil states. We destroyed public transportation in Los Angeles because we wanted people to burn oil. And so what's happening now is that the oil industry in the southwestern United States is closing over the next 10 years. And that in turn will cool the air. The other thing that is happening is that over the next 10 years, the cattle and steer industry will close down because people will be able to produce those meats safely. Yes, it's genetically the same. It's a clone. It's genetically the same. People are worried about the freight. You don't have to eat it. You can be vegan. But the bottom line is that the industry is probably going to go belly up in the next 10 years. Consequently, those two changes cause massive recovery of the Southwest over the next 10 years. And one of the things we're going to be seeing is more greening of the area as it returns to its natural state. But we're also seeing some beautiful advancements in man-made river systems that are really going to be working with the existing geological system. So we're seeing beautiful increases in rivers coming out of California. Rivers in Arizona will be expanding, New Mexico, and beautiful river systems will be opening up in Texas, bringing fresh new water as the ecosystem again returns back to its natural state. So we're going to go ahead and open up the salon now to conversation for the next 5 minutes. Then we will do the Impasse Prayer, we'll do a collective, and the Blitz. But let's just go ahead, let's shoot the stuff together, as they say, and let's talk. Let's have a conversation, coffee talk amongst yourselves in the salon. There's about 1,100 of us. Let's talk, discuss. What do you think of the remote views? Right, Bugs Bunny. What if you were to ask people, thank you, Vivian Clark. I appreciate that donation. I think that Bugs Bunny is bringing up an important point, and actually, you know, would it does the buddy system work? I think the buddy system works because I think human beings are honest, good, decent, empathetic, and sociopathy, antisocial personality disorder is not normal. And I think that if we were to say to the American people, there are people starving and going hungry that desperately need these checks, and they may need them for the next 6 months, we're going to ask for the buddy system. Don't apply if you don't need it. If you need it, take the money, take the food, take what you need. If you don't, we're asking you not to take the check so we can extend this program longer. I can guarantee that 9 out of 10 Americans would be honorable. And we would save a lot of money, and we would be able to get the relief checks into areas where I think this is the right thing to do. I agree with Joe Manchin, actually. We've only got a limited amount of resources to help a third of Americans but that means 2/3 of us can go without. So that's a lot more resources to desperate areas. And that would do a lot to help people see Democrats as really caring about people. I think it would be 9 out of 10 because those are what the statistics show. They've done experiments with wallets, and they've left wallets in major areas. And the lost wallet experiment, 8-9 times out of 10, people returned the wallet and didn't even want anything back. So research has shown that human beings, when asked to do the honorable thing, to tighten your belts, and if you don't need this relief money, please don't take it, because there are children starving in America and we desperately need to get this money and resources. Can you hold off? Do you really need to take that extra $500? Can you let it pass just for now? I think you'd be surprised at how many Americans would say, I don't need it, take it. Yeah. Okay, so with that said, okay, let's do this. We're going to do the Impasse Prayer hi, kitchen table. Good to see you. Good to see you. Also, be sure and check out Kitchen Table. For those people who have not had a chance to check out Kitchen Table Tarot, they do some really, really nice readings. I've enjoyed my collectives very much, and I wanted to thank Kitchen Table Tarot for giving me such a beautiful collective reading. I recently got one on the channel. All right, so we're going to do a simple prayer. And Impasse Prayer, and then we'll give everybody the collective. Are we ready for the collective? Say yes. Say yes, my fellow sensitive people. Hi, Chava. Okay. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, for our families, for the people we love, for the planet, but also to help those we may have strife with. And together as a community, collectively, we say, Amen. Woo! The rain is coming down. I love Sundays. I love hanging with all of you. It's a good feeling. Thank you, Harmony. I like giving the prayer. Puts me in a good place. Advice from Spirit for this group is the intention of the reading. The highest good. All right, where we are at as a group, there is still a feeling here that we have a lot of leadership coming to the surface. A lot of us in this community have decided to be leaders in the sense that we have a pretty clear idea about what our values are. We have a pretty clear idea about what our ethics are. We know what right and wrong is. It's coming out of the gaslighting. The 7 of Cups is the gaslighting card in the sense that the person feels that they're in the clouds, spaced out, confused. They don't know where to go. There's a lot of energy here in the group where we're still working some of that stuff out. We were literally being held hostage by a malignant narcissist. So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people are concerned about not getting accurate news, not getting accurate information. Our karma card is the King of Wands, which, as you know, I call it Yehudi. You can see he's sitting on the throne with the Lion of Judah. It's a fire energy. It's often associated with Leos, Aries, Sag, Leo, the lion energy. The karma card is also a card of someone. The story of Judah in the Torah is one of integrity and being honest about who you are, even if you are imperfect. This is the person as an archetype who stands up and says, yeah, I did it. I screwed up. Okay, I'll fix it. I'm sorry. I screwed up. There aren't that many people in the world that are able to do that, sadly, in leadership. There's it's saying I'm sorry, saying I screwed up, being able to feel the shame when you screw up and say, okay, the shame is there to let me know I messed up. Okay, how can I fix it? That's true leadership. There's a certain humility in that. And it also helps you correct when you're off course so that you can do better. So what I like about the evolution for the community is that we are willing to not be so hard on ourselves for the little things and just apologize and fix it. An example would be that I get beautiful cards, like this beautiful card I got from Gail. And I procrastinate. Got a nice, beautiful letter here from Linda. All right. So I put them all together because I have to write my thank you cards. But then because I've got ADD, I'm a flighty little fairy energy, I will sometimes put it off. And then I have to apologize and say, I screwed up. I got lazy, or I got pulled into something. That kind of leadership where you say, you're right, I need to take care of it, I screwed up, I'm sorry. That's one aspect of this archetype. The other aspect of this archetype is that it's just somebody who others trust to lead because they are sound, they are grounded, and they're in touch with reality. Where we're at, 4 of Cups, a refusal to compromise in our interpersonal relationships. So this is a group of people with a strong sense of ethics and values, a strong sense of right and wrong, ready to engage in leadership in the future, but they're not willing to compromise their ethics. There's also something happening here where many of you are carrying the load for your communities. Relationships are ending in this card chart for many people. Some relationships will have to end. And again, that simply has to do with the fact that people are coming out of this crazy and they're becoming really clear-headed walking away, what we sit in, walking away from battles we can't win. A lot of us are simply like, this is not reality. This is a battle I cannot win. This is my truth, and this is what I'm living by. I understand that you don't agree with me. I understand that you see things differently than me, and I acknowledge that. But I'm telling you that this doesn't sit well with me. And so for that reason, it's not going to be happening. Clear communication with other people. Thank you, Ana Macedo. I appreciate that. The fourth house is interesting. It's a travel card. It also has to do with heading in the southwesterly direction. If people are thinking about a move, I will often use this card to denote the southwest. I have to be honest with you, when I do remote viewings and I follow the energy into the future, I didn't expect the southwestern United States to like turn into a massive forest in another 25 years with rivers and streams and four seasons. I'm like, what the heck? Oh, that's what it was like before we screwed it up. That's what it was like before oil and steer. That's why it goes back to, I don't know, I'm just a remote viewer. So many of us, thank you, Holly W., many of us could be spending time in that area or moving to that area, which I thought was kind of interesting. But expect many in the group to be going on vacation or traveling by April of 2021. I've been seeing a lot more increase in travel. And I think it has to do with the fact that President Biden is going to make sure 100 million vaccinated within 100 days. So we figure by April, most of us are going to be able to do some traveling, take a cruise if you want to, that sort of thing. Entering into a time of good health and good strength between now and spring of 2021. I like the balanced energy I'm getting from the group. I like that beautiful calm. I like the fact that many of you have started meditating. I've seen that. And the stretching, good. Strength card, we want to make sure we're doing some nice gentle yoga, even if it's sitting in a chair, just to kind of get our energy moving. Nice strength coming in. Also rejoicing, feeling like we've come to our community. Certainly here we have a community of 1,200 people, like-minded, that support each other. We're fighting the good fight. Three of Cups it reminds me of a Hebrew prayer or a Hebrew saying, how good it is when brethren dwell together. It is a good thing to dwell with good people and to spend time with good people. The action reaction for us, the good people, the celebration, the dancing in the street, result in strength, good unions, good relationships, people who share your ethics and values, people who walk the walk, who walk the talk, people who have their ethics, their morals in order, people who present themselves as they genuinely are, people who step up to the plate, people who, in Brene Brown's words, they are the gift of imperfection. Our imperfect selves. The immediate environment for us is one of movement, Chariot, movement. It's a lot of growth. If you are psychic, if you are an empath, now is the time when you're really going to start feeling your chakras opening up and receiving a lot of downloads, because this is movement, this is growth in the environment. The opposition is the 8th card. And the 8th card, who you have conflict with, we can see is the 8 of Cups. And so relationships, there's a peace that has happened between us and others. We may have not been completely resolved. We may have had conflicts in the past with certain persons trying to have closure. That closure has happened because we have become at peace with ourselves. We've become at peace with who we are and what we are. And so that's far more powerful than forgiving somebody who may have done something they shouldn't have done and still refuses to acknowledge that they did something wrong. Forgiving such an individual is a waste of time. Instead, being at peace in this reading is knowing who you are, being about your business, being true to yourself is a much greater peace. As a result, unfortunately, many relationships are coming to an end because they simply don't live up to the values and ethics of the people in this community. I mean, there's just no other way to interpret it. The hope and the fear, we are masters. This is a group of people that love science, they love learning, they love expanding their mind, they love the truth. I get a lot of truth cards with this group. The final outcome for us is the star. As long as you abide by the natural order, as long as you understand that the mother comes first, the planet comes first, because the planet is the source of our food, our well-being, etc. As long as you take care of your ethics and values to the best of your ability and are aligned with that order, everything's going to be fine with us. And in fact, many of us will emerge to be quite famous and quite successful in our callings. This reminds me of Sheila of Celtic Tarot, where we've talked about her karma. I don't think she would mind me saying this, but when I did a remote and I followed Sheila of Celtic Tarot, I went forward a couple of years. I saw her like Oprah Winfrey sitting and interviewing people. I thought, well, that's a really weird vision. And then I told her the vision. And then she told me Friday, oh yeah, my biggest mentor was Oprah Winfrey. I was like, did you ever tell me that? So her karma was to kind of lift up and support the readers and basically to become the Oprah of the reading community. And then she manifested it. So it was good. So that's an example of she knew who she was. She knew what her function in the world was. And so the energy came to her very easily. It was very easy for her to do that with her channel because she was awakened and knew her function in the world, which was to unite the community and the ethics of the community and create great entertainment. So don't be surprised now that many of you are aligned with your values and your purpose in life that you're going to start feeling a little famous. Another example would be the artist Earl Heflinger, who I've become something of a phone friend with. He was kind enough to do this amazing painting of Mila. Now he's becoming famous, not because he wanted to be famous, but because he was simply about his business. And his business is doing paintings of pets. The other thing he's been doing is he's been channeling communication between individuals and their pets because he's a spiritual person, he and his wife. And so it's not just a painting. He's now channeling the actual relationships. So that's another example of somebody who's aligned with their purpose, and then they go into star. Not because you're trying to be famous, but because you've mastered yourself. The clarification for the group right now is the Queen of Wands. She is the consort of the King of Wands. In the African Yoruba tradition, this would be Oshun and Chango. Chango seeks justice absolute, right? Red Chango. And Oshun also, she seeks justice absolute. So continue to be strong in your values and ethics. Check yourself. We have to check ourselves. We have to check our values. Make sure you're being honest in your business dealings and honest with other people, and be about your business in your home, taxes, etc. The firm leader, the Queen of Wands. Don't let yourself be gaslit. The karma we still have to get through. Don't let somebody mess with your ethics. If you start to feel that way, you may have to separate yourself from certain persons. All right, so that is the reading for the group. We're going to go ahead and open it up to communication. So Sue, I would go ahead and refresh the screen if you're not seeing me. Barbie. I loved Barbie. But we were so poor we couldn't afford Barbies, so my dad would get us the 99-cent cheap knockoffs, and that was, it looked the same. It's just psychological. No, I want it to be Barbie. What does it matter? It's the same thing. Thank you, Marissa. It's very kind of you. So thank you to Greeter TK. I want to go ahead and put Greeter TK's message up. There was another message I got last night in my meditations regarding the care of animals as part of the natural order. And because a lot of people have fallen into poverty because they've lost their jobs, we have an increase in people that are surrendering their pets to shelters and to the pound, etc. So there's kind of a call out if anyone can take an extra animal, a cat, a dog, if you have extra room, if you can take one more pet, it would be greatly appreciated because the animals are suffering quite a bit right now. So if you are one of the people who's not struggling financially right now, if you do have a little extra space, energetically, there's like a call out to please consider taking rescuing an animal from one of these areas. Thank you, Marie Wells. All right, so we're going to go ahead now. We did great. We're right on time. We're going to start the blitzes. Sound good? Oh, good, Greeter TK. Yeah, I have one animal. So I was meditating about it to try and figure out what kind of, if I could bring another animal in. And I was connecting with Mila, and Mila does not want another cat in the apartment. The only thing that she tested positive, when I connected with her, that Mila wanted, is she's willing to have a senior dog in the apartment because she prefers dogs, and she prefers senior dogs because they don't scare her and because they can be cuddle partners. And so she would prefer if I'm going to get any animal at all, she wants a senior dog. So right now in this space, I just don't see it happening. If I get another type of an animal, she might hurt it, like a bird or something like that. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, so the first throw, people asked if I could take a look at the conflict that is happening right now with the GOP. And what's going on is interesting with the GOP because it looks like the FBI has to go in and start arresting some of these people. Now, this reminds me of Hamas. Hamas and other extremist groups or Muslim extremist groups, what the Muslim community did is they sent intellectuals, Muslim clerics, academics, people that know Islam, and they deprogrammed these people. They actually went in, and this is the Muslim community said, okay, we got to clean this mess up. This is not Islam. And they literally took these people that were in a cult, these terrorist cults, and they just started saying, oh, you want to study Islam? Okay, so here's how many violations you did there. Then you did a violation here. Then you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do this, that, or the other. And it has gone a long way. So they cut them off financially. They cut their funds. And then they started sending out educated clerics to deprogram. They sent them into certain mosques to deprogram these people. I think we're going to have to do something like that with some of these crazy anti-Semitic, xenophobic cults that are coming out. It's almost like we have to send in deprogrammers. Thank you, Rosa. It's very kind of you. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the. Thank you. So So let's take a look at the future of the Republican Party right now based on what we're seeing. Sound good? That was the first question. Did you, Susan? Yeah, it's a cult, and it's an anti-Semitic cult. It's based on the blood libel out of the Ukraine, out of Eastern Europe, where they believed that Jewish people drank the blood of Christian babies and put the blood in their matzah. They had all kinds of crazy ideas, and now it's reinventing itself through Q, and they believe that the Jewish Democrats are eating babies and we're shooting lasers at people. This is just an extension of the protocols of the Elders of Zion and the anti-Semitism that came out of Eastern Europe, decades ago. So when we see the crazy alien stuff and the 5-whatever-D crazy, you have to understand that that's being infiltrated by anti-Semitic stuff out of Eastern Europe. All right, future of the GOP. Cray is right. Yes, and they put us into reservations. They called them shtetls and ghettos. They took all the Jews and they forced us into these closed areas. They tried to starve us out. And I'm not talking about the Holocaust. I'm talking about hundreds of years before the Holocaust. They said, well, that's good. We'll control the Jews. We'll round them up. We'll close them into a reservation. And then we'll control them. And it worked so well, they said, well, let's do that to the Native Americans. It worked with the Jews. Thank you, Manifest. These are old ideas, right? Racism is an old idea. It's interesting. I think that young Republicans are actually going to do a lot to help Republicans. The energy of the Republican Party is young Republicans that are excited about the Green New Deal. We'll go down. We'll talk to the people of West Virginia. Money, 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 money. Young Republicans going down, fighting the good fight, trying to break things up. And they don't want to talk about any of that, young Republicans. They want to talk about making money, putting people back to work in West Virginia. Let's talk about medical marijuana. Let's talk about fuel cell technology. Let's talk about wind and solar. Money, 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 money. I like the Knight of Pentacles because he's honorable, but he's swift. He wants quick action. Boom, boom, boom. Let's make it happen. The old guard is falling away. Because you cannot keep the war going, celebration, if people got the job. They just want to open the factories, take existing factories and convert them. Don't shut them down entirely. Buy them out, convert them, and that's what's happening. So we have existing businesses in depressed areas that are going to start switching their economy over. And I think the Democrats, it's all about the money. There's going to be legal actions against this cult. Money. They want money. They want work. That's the fastest way to switch this over. And what I like is I like these green business people going in and making it happen. But look at that fourth house. Look at the potential. Look at the potential in these areas. Communicating with the family. What sits in the third house. Republicans, what they've inherited, right? The inheritance card. This is the cray, right? The cray, Chardonnay, the cray party. That's what they inherited. What they're coming out of, the former president, right? The former situation. They put them, look at the sixth house. Look at the sixth house for the Republican Party. Y'all see that? They did it to themselves, tied in knots. Because of what? Because of their former leader. That's the fifth house. It's the leader. It's often the president's card, the emperor. Seventh house, the immediate environment that the Republican Party finds themselves in. Is there any surprise here? Five of Wands. Fight, 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 fight. No, we're going to do it this way. No, we're going to do it that way. No, money, 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 money. It's all. This is what is going to unite the Republican Party. They're not wrong. The people need work. Their opposition is the Democrats. What are the Democrats doing? The Democrats want nothing to do with them. We're out of there like a thief in the night. You people are crazy. Jewish lasers? What are you talking about? I don't know if that can be sustained, though, because we have to work together. The hope and the fear, Archangel Michael comes with the sword of truth. This is a messenger card. It's also a spy card. So people are trying to get the information out. And the final outcome, we pulled double aces. Ace of Swords is the final outcome. Victory because of money. Put people to work and give them an honorable paycheck, and this goes away. But we need to educate people. I think they're going to send some kind of, it can't just be, look, what I don't like about these cards is I don't like the fact that the Republican Party is saying, hey, give them jobs, they'll go away. You have to address the anti-Semitism. You have to address that there are foreign governments that are trying to get Americans to kill one another. You can see coming up, there's the New Deal. The contract card, where they're at, Three of Pentacles, can be the blueprint of a new deal. The response by Democrats in relationship to passing a new deal is the transformation happens. So now going forward, we're going to be able to work together. The hope and fear for the Republicans, it reminds me of that Tom Petty song. The Tom Petty song is the song for the new Republican Party, and it is into the great wide open. It's the great wide open. What's the great wide open for the Republican Party? Under the sky so blue, a rebel without a clue. Where are they headed? Where is the Republican Party headed? Have a little faith. There's magic in the night. You ain't a beauty, but you're all right. Mary got the right answer. Green capitalism is the final outcome for the Republican Party. Into the great wide open, under the sky so blue. They will win. They will be victorious. No. Marjorie Taylor Greene. For those people who didn't get to see the impersonation, yeah, this is my Taylor Greene. Here we go. I got her mask. There she is. Woohoo! Then I got to have my gun. Right? That is not the future. This is, I'm not the future of the Republican Party. No, you're not the future of the Republican Party. Unfortunately, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the future of the Republican Party, and everybody here can read the cards, is victory with capitalism that is green. Feed mama. Taking care of mom. All right, so that is the future of the Republican Party. They are going to cut the head off the beast. I got a gun. Works great on Mila. Every time she jumps onto a chair or does something she's not supposed to do, I'll take out my gun. See her running? She knows. I like my Jewish laser. Here's my Jew laser. L'chaim, 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 l'chaim to life. L'chaim, l'chaim, it's a party. L'chaim. It's kosher wine. It's my Jewish laser. All right. Somebody had said that they wanted to get inside the head of Mitch McConnell because we always have said that Mitch McConnell was going to cut the head off the beast. But unfortunately, the beast has now replicated, and now we have all these cray-cray. Thank you. Thank you, Marie. That's very kind of you. So, So I don't know. Mitch McConnell has been told basically that he needs to get rid of these cray cray, because if he doesn't, they ain't gonna get no more money from the big guns. Now, if you are a Republican and you're working with Mitch McConnell and you just saw the cray cray, you're going to say to Mitch McConnell, "You want some more money for you and your Senate? You get rid of these people." So now Mitch McConnell has a bigger problem of cutting the head off the beast. He's going to have to cut the head off of a lot of beast. You see his situation? Be nice, Bugs Bunny. Salome, interesting. Yeah, it's, getting rid of all of these. Well, I don't know if I agree, Susan, because it's kind of like you got to use poison to take care of the poison. I mean, who else is going to get rid of them? I remember 2 years ago when I followed the energy, remember we had Mitch McConnell cutting the head off the beast. People were like, no way, no way. Every time I went forward, that's what happens. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at Mitch McConnell's cards. I think he's going to cooperate with the FBI, and they're going to have to start going in and taking computers out of headquarters, because these criminals used money from the GOP to plot to overthrow the American government. So you think that Mitch McConnell has a problem? I think he does. But if the other problem is that Republicans are now joining the Democratic Party. That's not good for the Democratic Party, because they are conservative Republicans. They are not Democrats. And so their influence on the Democratic Party might not be that great. No, we want you to stay in the Republican Party and fix it. We don't want you coming to our party and trying to turn our party into the new Republican Party. We are Democrats. So you're going to have a little bit of that too. We don't want the tent to be that wide. It had to be that wide to get rid of the cray-cray, but now it's getting to be a problem. Mitch McConnell right now, he still feels he has some strength. He's got a strength card there. He still is trying to have some control of what's going on in the Senate. But look at that, 4 of Pentacles is his karma card. Watching the money, watching the money. 4 of Pentacles is poverty. They're cutting him off. His big donors, some of which, by the way, are Jewish, they're not going to feed this. He has got to deal with this. 4 of Pentacles, the money's drying up. He's going to the courts. He's going to the law. They have to now ask the law for help. They have to ask the police for help, because this problem is a big problem. If they don't look, this is also divorce. This is justice. I also read it as a divorce. You're going to court. You're going to court. When I do marriage readings, if somebody is working out their marriage, if I get something like this, depending upon the cards around it, I will often see divorce. But again, cutting the head off the beast, and then the crossing card is about the money, Ace of Pentacles. The donors, the big money. I'm talking about the billionaires. They're not going to give these people a dime. He got cut off. What is above him? He's looking. This is the wish card. It's what you're trying to build. It's trying to extend beyond, right? You're looking beyond. It can be also extending world investments. Can also be world involvement. What he's sitting in, walking away from a battle he can't win. He's fighting with these people, and he's starting to realize they're not rational. The past placement for him, he's already done. He really feels he is the old-fashioned conservative. These people are not Republicans. His future placement, walking away. I think we could see Mitch McConnell potentially retiring from the Republican Party. From the Senate, excuse me. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that McConnell's getting older. Where he's at right now, refusing. He's very stubborn. 4 of Cups, not taking offers, shutting down, changing, not being willing to confirm certain people. It's that stubborn refusal. This is what he did to Obama. This is like the Grim Reaper. Him in relationship to the opposition, which would be the Democrats. This is Chuck Schumer, the Democrats. They are going forward, plow, plow, plow. I do wish that they would listen more to Joe Manchin, because I do think he made some important points. The hope and the fear, the new leadership. This is Mitch McConnell cards. The final outcome for Mitch McConnell, it's about the money. He wants to getting the money. He wants the money back for the party. The clarification for Mitch McConnell. He's going to have to make some serious decisions. This guy cannot just continue to be passive. He's going to have to actively do more to get rid of these wackos. I don't think, you know what? I think he's going to be out of there in 13 months. I think he's retiring. Three of Swords is the Democratic response, because he's not, he needs to be, start really cutting the head off the beast. The ethos, the Constitution is ultimately the leader of the Senate. This is the ethos of the Senate. The final outcome for him is Queen of Wands. He has to grow some cojones and start expressing very clear boundaries and rebuild what he thinks is the conservative party. This party is on a breathing machine. And if he doesn't start to become aggressive and start to take on more of the archetype Queen of Wands, it could really cost him. But he is all about restoring conservative politics and opening up financial support from his donors. It's a mess. It looks like a mess to me. Okay, so yeah, they are fighting amongst themselves, and it's going to be one of those things where I think economic stability, they're right, is going to take away a lot of the problems, but they still need somebody to go in and deprogram or something. All right, we've done an hour. If you need to go, I totally get it. I want to thank everybody for hanging with me. If you haven't done so yet, be sure and share, like, subscribe, and click the bell notification so that you can be notified about future videos from me, the wonderful Oracle of Whimsy, my alter ego. Yes, my alter ego, the Oracle of Whimsy. The Oracle of Whimsy was first conceived in an ancient riverbed in a land far away from here, where they sang folk songs and ate s'mores. Yes. So we'll wait a minute if people need to use the restroom. Hi, Fillerin. Good to see you back. We have a question from Noelle. Noelle will be doing in the after hours show. If you got to go wee-wee, now would be the time. Let's open it up to discussion. The next 2 minutes. Thank you, Tamara Rose. Very generous of you, and I do appreciate it. Jackie's grabbing a tea. Happy birthday, Fillerin. Let's sing happy birthday to Fillerin. She will be 29 tomorrow. Happy birthday to Fillerin. Happy birthday to Fillerin. Happy birthday, dear Fillerin. Happy birthday to you. Sung it in a key that was a little too high. Bye, greeter, TK. I totally get it. A lot of people could only stay for an hour. Okay. So we've done our minute. People that needed to go have gone. People that needed to use the restroom have gone. We're going to start our Blitz now. And the first Blitz question is coming from Noelle, and she would like to know if Trump has pardoned himself secretly in a pocket pardon. Let's do it. Has Trump given himself a pocket pardon? All right. Thank you, Terry Renner. Oh, kitty. I love the kitty. It's possible because there's a Fool card here, and there's something here about lost money. Man, his money is looking spooky. His cards, he's not going anywhere. It's all inverts. He was trying to suppress information. I think that he's got mental decline. Look, I think Trump has mental decline. I think that it's mental decline that's happening really rapidly. I think it's the thing that nobody's talking about. His fourth house, inverted. I mean, that he's not. He's a very cruel, angry, mentally unstable person. He's not going anywhere. They're talking about him not going anywhere. I don't see a future Trump party. I just don't. I know that Nance is worried about it. It doesn't seem to jive with the future economy. Look at this, psychopathy. This is the sixth house. This is seventh house. He's not well. They want to starve him out. They want him to lose. Many Republicans, look at this. It's all inverts. Depressed, partnerships ending. No, I don't see any future with him. And it doesn't matter whether he pocket pardoned himself or not, which is entirely possible he did. I don't see it helping him. The main problem with this individual is that he delayed. It was a passive way of, he did the same thing in the State Department. They just ignored whole departments and let them fall apart simply by ignoring them. All you can accuse them of is incompetence. What happens with Trump's cards is that this is his outcome. I think he's so cray-cray. I think he's got so many psychological problems. I think he's got degeneration. Look, the older you get, the faster you degenerate. Thank you, Raven Rose. You can find my email information below in the description of this video. It's whimsyanderson@gmail.com. If you're looking at wanting to donate, we also have friends of Whimsy at gmail.com. Let me just fix this. Yeah, so if you're looking for support, and if you are in an area and you're alone and you don't have the emotional support you need, what you can do is you can go to friendsofwhimsy@gmail.com, and we will find a buddy in your area. Buddies are doing things for each other, like driving people to medical appointments if you're trying to get vaccinated or you need help in that area. Also just checking in on people, just creating like-minded friend communities. So that would be Whimsy, friends of Whimsy at gmail.com. If you write that group, we will find somebody to help support you and during this pandemic and beyond, if you just want to have friends. All right, we'll go ahead. The next question here in the Blitz is, what is going on with Putin's health? You know, the thing about Trump, I'll be honest with you, is I just don't enjoy prosecuting an old man who's blabbering to himself. And it's starting to increasingly look like that. His insanity, his mental health problems are so off the top that I just don't, I mean, like he may not even be mentally able to be tried in another couple months because these types of degenerative diseases, as we get older, they progress almost exponentially. And that's and so there may be a frustration. There may be a frustration about the fact that we don't see justice the way we had wanted to. Yeah, that's true. The insanity is destabilizing the country, but I don't see him leading a party. I don't see him having the mental health in a couple of months to do much of anything. His cards are horrible. All right, we're going to look at Putin's health. Putin's health. Well, it's interesting. Susan is talking about would Biden pardon him, and I think that that might explain why he left such a gracious note for Biden. All right. Truth about Putin's health. People were worried he had a condition like multiple sclerosis or something like that. I'm not seeing a major health problem for Putin at this time. His karma card is the star and the court's coming in. So he's getting a lot of attention. He feels very blessed. This is somebody we've talked about. He thought that he was the chosen one, you know, that he was chosen to the leader. He thought religion was a good thing so long as he was the head of the church. Oh, Parkinson, I'm not seeing anything like that. He's got a star card. Justice is coming in. That might not be good for him because justice, like I said, is divorce court. A lot of people are done with him. A lot of people want to see him go. And just as he has infiltrated our politics, we have infiltrated his politics. This is one of the reasons why he hates George Soros. The real reason why people keep being bombarded with anti-Soros, anti-Semitic rhetoric is because Soros does fund democracy movements in areas that have typically had a problem with democracy, like Eastern Europe. So that's why he hates George. George Soros also said, don't invest in the ruble. It's a bad investment. And then the ruble dropped 25%. So there are a lot of reasons why Putin does not like Soros. But slow, things are stopping. He's having real resistance, Putin. Part of it has to do with what's happening economically in Russia, working hard. A lot of it just has to do with the day-to-day problems in Russia with poverty, losing support because of it looks to me like the economy is bad in Russia and that people are blaming Putin for it more than anything else. This is a poverty card. It's an exile card. He once enjoyed great success in Russia. You can see that nice 10 of Cups in the background. There's a 3 of Cups coming into his future, celebrating with the poverty card, the 4th house. So I always think of this as like Pussy Riot, musicians, artists, strong female energy coming in, and it's kind of like his worst nightmare. um, where he is at, holding the coin, holding his cards close. The opposition, joy. So I feel that this is a time in Russia where they are seeing it as a new revolution against a new czar. They see Putin as a czar, and they're kind of inspired because that's precisely what he's trying to do. So we do see this opposition coming. It's not just an opposition, but there's a joyfulness to it. There's a joy from the opposition. The hope and fear, I see this as an FBI card. I also see it as hidden money or the woman of secrets. The final outcome, he gets his wish. He made the mistake of investing in oil, and oil is a dying industry. So, trying to get people to buy his oil when no one's buying oil anymore. It's like he can't be mad at us. The Turkish stream, he was trying to crush OPEC. The only problem is that OPEC is now switching to renewable fuels. So it's like, I was trying to destroy OPEC. He has a new beginning starting in March, defending against his position. He's also going to really be attacking aggressively the opposition. He wants to start Russia on a new trajectory by spring, and he's going to be very aggressive about arresting and prosecuting the opposition. But this is a desire to economically stabilize Russia. I don't see him retiring right now, I'm sorry to say. And I'm concerned about further persecution of people who are fighting against Putin. So for that reason, I think we should look at Navalny. What do you think? The future of Navalny? I apologize if I didn't spell his name right. All right, let's take a look and see if the opposition by Navalny. Nobody's talking about the fact that I trimmed my hair, by the way. I trimmed it. You see these curls on my side there? It's starting to come up. Jewish people, we call this curl. I'm part Hungarian Jewish. What we used to do is our men make a curl like this, and those are called our pes, because we do get these. It's kind of a Hungarian Jewish thing. We get these little curls. I think they're really pretty. My pes, they're called pes. I'm my hairstylist, so I did it myself. I looked at a video and how to cut your own hair, and I did it. I think it did great. Oh, thank you. I did it myself. Thanks, Jeffrey. It's Hungarian. All right. Let us see. Aw, thank you, Cherish. Navalny's future looks like a think tank. It's a think tank that explores democratic ideas in Eastern Europe. That is the best way to describe Navalny, because you can see here the Knight on the White Horse is his karma, and then the King of Cups is the great mediator. So this is not somebody who is coming and aggressively fighting. This is the mediator. This is the intellectual that's looking at the issue of democracy in Eastern Europe. Ace of Swords coming in. He knows he will be victorious. And then the presidency. So in Navalny's mind, he is looking at democracy in Eastern Europe and how these oligarchs and the economic structure that's being created by Putin and the oligarchs is an obstruction to creating democracy in Eastern Europe. And that is basically, they're keeping the money for themselves and they're not giving it to the people. So you can see that Navalny wound up with double aces. I know that I'm going to win. Even if I die, I know that I will win. The movement will win. That's the first message from him. The Ace of Cups stands in his 4th house. So he is the healer. He's not a warrior. That's not this energy. This is Cups energy. Thank you, Arvi. It's very sweet. So his cards are good. He's looking at the future of Russia in relationship to connections to the outside world, his past, what he came out, leadership. But it's not just leadership for him. It's a vision of Russia. He has a vision of what Europe could become, of what the East could become. He feels it's also a misappropriation of the artist and the intellectuals, and that the artists and the intellectuals, people that would be helping Eastern Europe, have been suppressed. And that's not ultimately good for Russia. He's been stopped. You can see the stopgap sits in his 6th house. His immediate environment right now, he's being asked to negotiate his way out of the protest. Page of Pentacles can be an offer. In plain words, they want to release him. He's too much of a problem. Just go. Just go live in somewhere else or go do something else. But we don't want you to be a part of this. So this is like, we will let you live in exchange. If they kill him now, it will not bode well. Him in relationship to Putin. Come on. Why are you being so hard on Vlad? Why are you being so hard on Putin? Come on, I'm a nice guy. 2 of Cups. Right? He did the same thing with Pussy Riot, got arrested. Oh, I don't have a problem with Pussy Riot. Meanwhile, he was completely behind the whole thing. So there's a 2 of Cups in his opposition. They want to work with Navalny because he's a political nightmare, keeping secrets, spying, 10 of Cups, family issues. Straight up is an inheritance. So it's something. So it has to do with the family or seeing it as one structure, the Church of the Russian Orthodox Church, the culture, the community, the family, the inheritance. The final outcome for Navalny, the death card or transformation, doesn't suggest physical death, but I'll do a clarification on it. They want him to make a deal. He has to confess or admit to something or agree not to bother anyone, but it has to do with, look at this. Look at the offers. This is Putin, 6 of Cups. Come on, we are friends, Navalny. Let's have some vodka together and talk philosophy. Let's talk politics. Come on, I don't want to kill you. What do I want to kill you for? It's that kind of... That kind of energy. I don't know if it's regarding the family issue. He's in jail. There's the jail card. The final outcome for Navalny. Death and Hanged Man. I think that they want him. They want to silence him and they want to make a deal with him so that he can diffuse the tension in Russia. I think he could be released, but there's a possibility he's going to be controlled in terms of what he can and can't say if he wants to get released. So I don't know if I see actual physical death with death card coming in over Hanged Men. It could be that the political movement is changing, and So, Susan Lynn, come on, I don't want to kill you because I keep trying and you don't die. Yeah, that's definitely Putin. Okay, so we're moving on. People had asked if I could take a look at Don Jr.'s kids. I don't know. Do you all still want to see the future of Donald Trump's children, Don Jr., Ivanka, or are we completely done with the Trumps? People are like, no, go back in, go back in. Oh, I mean, it's funny. Before, when Michael Cohen first got arrested, nobody knew if people thought he was going to stay loyal to Trump. And I was asked if I could go down, take a look. And that was when he started talking about my culpa. And he was saying, Michael Cohen was saying, Ivanka, they got everything, Ivanka. He got everything, baby girl. He's gonna be deposed. You better tell them everything they already know because they got it. And I was like, what the hell? This is before anybody even knew that Michael Cohen was gonna turn on Trump. And so it was so cool 2-3 years later when she got deposed. But I don't know. Oh, well, you want to see them suffer. It does start to look at one point like Ivanka has really turned on her dad. You know, it is that kind of feeling. So I don't know. Maybe we should take one more look at Ivanka's. I mean, her entire dreams of being the president of the United States are just falling apart. Oh, Dershowitz? Dershowitz is under criminal investigation too because the problem with Dershowitz is that they threw out the protection he had. So, okay. So I think let's do Ivanka first just because of that interaction we had with Michael Cohen and Ivanka a couple of years back. And we were like, oh, and then it happened. It was like, damn, this stuff works. It works and it's so much fun. Okay, so I really want to get into Ivanka Trump's future. You know, do you think that she has any future at all in the political? Does she have any future in the Republican Party? That's what a lot of people want to know about Ivanka. So let's take a look. I find her intriguing. I'll tell you, as a remote viewer, I find her intriguing. All right, let's take a look at Ivanka's future. Well, if you are born of a malignant narcissist and he's in your head and he's doing whatever, and how could you be grounded in reality? That's what I'd like to know. Okay, let's look at Ivanka. I do feel sorry for her because I can't imagine. The only thing she could have done is completely divorced herself from her entire family and gone and lived on an ashram or something. I mean, I can't. She looks, honestly, because of who Donald Trump is, she looks like somebody who modeled her physical features on topless dancers at gentlemen's clubs in New York. You have these wealthy gentlemen's clubs in New York where you have extremely beautiful, wealthy porn stars that offer lap dances and private VIP gentlemen's clubs that wealthy people like Donald Trump used to frequent. He wanted his daughter to look like one of those women. And so she got the plastic surgery, she got her hair done, she got the weave put in, and now she looks like a very, high quality topless dancer stripper from one of these wealthy gentlemen's clubs, like Goodfellas in New York. Everybody knew Goodfellas in New York, private club. So I think that she reflects those values: breast implants, the dancers tend to have extremely long hair because the men like it. The only reason I know anything about this is because I applied to be a waitress at Goodfellas. And I didn't get hired, but all right. So she's in a full mode, taking a leap of faith. She moved. You can see the movement card, her karma card, chariot, her ethos, aligning her ethos with the nation's ethos. This is also the Constitution. So there is an issue about how to align any future career with. She's in power mode. Look at this magician coming in, Fool card. She plans on fixing this ethos. She's still running. Ivanka Trump still thinks she's going to run for political career. She's got financial backing. She's not going away. What she's sitting in, Page of Swords. She wants to clean up her reputation and be the future face. This reminds me of Le Pen in France, where she wanted to be the modern, hip face of fascism in France. They were going to clean up fascism in France. And that was what the daughter and granddaughter of Le Pen was trying to do: make fascism legitimate. Here, it almost looks like Ivanka Trump is seriously she is going to clean this reputation up, and she is going to make herself a legitimate contender for the politics. What she's coming out of her fifth house, she's devastated. But look at this. She's got that, I'm going to get this job. I'm going to get a job. And her sixth house, I'm busting my ass. I'm going to clean up my reputation. I'm going to make this happen. Go, 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 go. Ethos, ethos, ethos. The truth. She believes. She's a true believer in herself. Doesn't want to take the offer. Regarding what? Her opposition, the Four of Pentacles. She's being watched. She has mixed feelings about taking a pardon, because if she takes the pardon, it's not going to help her career politically in the future. It may be that she turned it down, or that she was scared to take additional help because she did have a political future. She's worried about her husband. We can go in and take a look at Jared next. The final outcome for her: leadership, the Queen of Wands. She believes that she's going to be the Queen of Wands. Now, maybe she's right. Maybe she does like a huge spiritual awakening. She gets some therapy for herself. I mean, I don't know how she could crawl out of this mess, but she thinks she's going to crawl out of this mess. The clarification for her: she's going to start fighting back. The opposition, the Democrats, fighting. The hope and the fear to get her wish. She will ultimately have to walk away from these dreams. She is probably not going to be able to get very far. If nothing else, she'll be able to clean up her reputation, maybe have some political influence. But with this card, Eight of Cups, coming over her, she's going to have a lot of opposition. Her number one concern right now is to clean up her mess and to separate herself from the former administration to the best of her ability. Wow. This is Jared's card. Any questions about that? Okay, we'll do one more on Jared, and then I'm going to close. I'll close it. No sympathy. I have definite sympathy. Okay, good point, Melissa Miller. This is helping us learn what narcissism looks like in politics. All right, the future of Jared Kushner is the question. I don't see him out of politics because I don't see him out of business energetically. And so because he's not leaving business, the business world, he's not leaving the political world. I still see him doing business with the same group of people in the Middle East. And I still see him wanting to be an advisor for certain policies. He's traveling again. Look at this. His karma card that it ended, but look, he's still in the business. Yeah, he's traveling. Look at that. He's already traveling outside the US. Look at these travel cards. In the grave. He's going to, something's stopping him. Something is stopping Jared Kushner's business interest. Look at this. Ace of Cups sits in the fourth house. That's some kind of an offer. It's an offer regarding what? Something about fighting and conflict. He may be asked to go in and actually assist in something that's currently a conflict. What he sits in his past placement, his leadership role, his future role. He's trying to, he does want to help with the transition, and particularly he's concerned about certain contracts. Oh, I know what it is. It's because Biden, he's going to have to try and justify to Biden help to with Saudi Arabia. So he's back and forth. He has to justify why they did this. And so this is looking like someone who's flying back and forth between the Middle East and is trying in a non-defensive way to talk about why this is actually ultimately good for the Middle East and good for America, and hoping that Biden will adopt some of these policies, because you can see the Ace of Cups coming in and wanting to secure these new deals, flying back and forth between us and possibly the Middle East, dealing with conflicts and concerns about it. Where he is at, he left it, the poverty card. Him in relationship to his opposition. His opposition is headed in a very good place. You see that nice Six of Wands coming in. That's victory. His hope and his fears is Biden. This is Biden's card. And the final outcome for Jared Kushner, he's facing a prison sentence. This is my jail. He could face actual criminal charges. The clarification for Kushner, the sun is coming out. He's going to be accused possibly of something from the opposition. Multiple investigations, by the way. The hope and the fear, it has to do with his money. Thank you, Foggy Ozark. Oh, I love the kitty too. Final outcome, walking away. He's facing criminal charges, and I think he will be charged. You can see Nine of Wands is a jail card, and the walking away. This is somebody who has been consistently losing power, is flying back and forth with dealing with the people he had done business with before when he was part of the former administration, is trying to appeal to Biden. Please, this actually, some of this, I know you don't like me, I know you think we're all criminals, but part of what we're building here is a good thing. So please consider it. However, the end result for this individual is he could even if we do decide to adopt some of this stuff, the individual Kushner, could be facing legal charges and possibly time in prison. Let's discuss it. What do y'all think? All right, so Cherish Roseberry Cornell made an important point. She says she has empathy for people who feel so inadequate and broke, so devoid of unconditional love or what it means to really trust someone, that they have to do all of this to feel significant, seen, or loved. And I think that that's really Cherish Roseberry Cornell. That is the personality disorder in a nutshell. Yeah. So how did everybody enjoy today's brunch? So a good point by Marjorie Lara has to do with King Abdullah being part of the new United Middle East, the Palestinian issue of the two-state solution. I think that we'll probably have to have a constitution. They've talked about building a constitution to denuclearize the area and unite the states. And I think if we can start moving in that direction rather than two independent countries, that's probably the direction we'll go in. And I think that King Abdullah will definitely sign it if we start moving in that direction. All right, love and light to everyone. You are awesome, beautiful people. And I so enjoy doing these Sunday brunches. I have a lot of gratitude to everybody who's supported the channel. And yes, I'm making French toast. That is my brunch today. I was going to stuff it with cream cheese and strawberries, and I did buy the strawberries. So yeah. So what you do is you just take you take the French toast and you put some whipped cream cheese, and then you slice the strawberries, and then you can do a strawberry compote, whipped cream, and whatever you like. So yeah, that was my brunch lunch. Oh, well, I haven't made it yet, but that's what will be my brunch. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time. Be sure to share, like, subscribe, push the bell notification if you haven't done so, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye. Thanks for the donations.